I freeze. What? I'm driving you home, he says. It's midnight. I'm in a paper gown in the ER, and this doctor with a sharp jaw and stormy eyes just decided he's not sending me home in an Uber. Nathaniel Hunt isn't just my cardiologist. He's officially the most bossy man I've ever met.
Whoa, slow down. Deep breaths, everyone. I'm Gia, and today's entry is about Cassia, a corporate lawyer who was so busy winning mergers that she almost forgot her heart actually needs to beat to keep her alive. Enter Dr. Nathaniel Hunt. He has zero patience for workaholics and a very interesting way of enforcing bed rest. Let's see how a chest pain at 11 p.m. turned into a midnight ride that Cassia never saw coming. Shall we start from the beginning?
The thing about chest pain is that you can convince yourself it's nothing for exactly as long as it takes to actually become something. I've been doing that for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of telling myself it's just stress, just tension, just the consequence of working 90-hour weeks on the Meridian merger while surviving on coffee and spite. 3 weeks of ignoring the tightness, the shortness of breath. The way my heart sometimes does this thing where it feels like it's trying to beat its way out of my chest. And then I made the mistake of mentioning it to my paralegal, who made the mistake of telling my assistant, who made the very pushy decision to call me an Uber to the ER. Which is how I ended up here. Sitting on an examination table in a paper gown at 11 p.m. on a Thursday, waiting for someone to tell me I'm fine so I can go back to the office. The door opens. The doctor who walks in is not what I expected. I don't know what I expected. Someone older, maybe? Someone who looks like they've been working the night shift for 20 years and has given up on life? Instead, I get someone who's maybe mid-30s, dark hair, sharp jaw, wearing scrubs that somehow look professionally tailored. He's reviewing something on a tablet. Doesn't look up immediately. Cassia Nicolau, he says. My name sounds different in his voice. More precise. Chest pain, shortness of breath, intermittent for 3 weeks. It's Cass, I correct. And it's really not that serious. My assistant overreacted. He looks up. His eyes are this very specific shade of blue-gray that I notice despite myself. Your assistant brought you to the ER at 11 p.m. That's not an overreaction. That's someone who knows you well enough to know you won't come on your own. Fair point. He sets the tablet down, moves closer. I'm Dr. Hunt, cardiology. Cardiology? I blink. Isn't that a bit extreme? It's probably just stress. Chest pain in a 30-year-old woman isn't just stress until I say it is. He's already pulling a stethoscope from around his neck. When did it start? 3 weeks ago, maybe 4. I don't know. I've been busy. Too busy to notice your own cardiovascular symptoms? I'm a corporate lawyer. I'm too busy for everything. Something that might be amusement flickers across his face. This is going to be cold. The stethoscope touches my back. I jump slightly. He was right about the cold. Deep breath, he says. I breathe. Again. I breathe again. He moves the stethoscope. Front now, just above my collarbone. His hand is steady, professional. His expression is focused in a way that makes me feel like he's listening to something I can't hear. Your resting heart rate is elevated, he says after a moment. When's the last time you slept? And I mean actually slept, not passed out from exhaustion. Is this the part where you lecture me about work-life balance? No. He removes the stethoscope, meets my eyes directly. This is the part where I tell you that your heart rate is sitting at around 115 resting. You're showing signs of acute stress cardiomyopathy, and your blood pressure is high enough that I'm concerned. In English? You're working yourself toward a heart attack. He says it calmly, factually. At 31. 32, I correct automatically. And I'm fine. You're not fine. He leans against the counter, arms crossed. If you were fine, you wouldn't be here. If you were fine, your heart wouldn't be working overtime just to keep you conscious. If you were fine, I wouldn't be looking at labs that show you're running on caffeine and adrenaline and nothing else. I appreciate the concern, but I have a deposition tomorrow at 9, so if you could just… No. I blink. Excuse me? You're not going to any deposition tomorrow. You're not going to the office. You're not going anywhere except home. And you're going to rest. Actually rest. For at least 72 hours. You can't just… I can. I am. He's already writing something. I'm prescribing mandatory rest. And before you argue, because I can see you're about to argue, I'm also noting in your chart that continued stress in your current condition presents serious cardiac risk, which means if you ignore this and something happens, it's on record that you were warned. I stare at him. You're serious. Completely. I have responsibilities. I have clients. I have a heart that's about to give out if you don't stop. He hands me the paper. 72 hours, minimum, no work, no email, no phone calls, just rest. I take the paper. Look at it. Look at him. And if I don't, then I admit you for observation, which means you'll be resting anyway, just in a hospital bed with an IV and monitoring equipment. That's your choice, he finishes. Rest at home or rest here, but you're resting. I should argue more. Should explain that he doesn't understand how important this merger is, how many people are counting on me, how I can't just disappear for 3 days. But the look on his face tells me he's not bluffing. Fine, I say. I'll rest. Good. He makes another note. How are you getting home? Uber. At midnight? After presenting with cardiac symptoms? He shakes his head. No. It's fine. I'm driving you. I freeze. What? I'm driving you home. He says it like it's already decided. You're in no condition to be alone right now, and I'm not sending you home in an Uber where you'll probably check your email the entire ride and spike your blood pressure again. You can't just… I can. I am. He's already pulling out his phone, texting someone. Give me 5 minutes to hand off my patients and I'll meet you at the front entrance. Then he leaves. Just leaves. I sit there in my paper gown, holding a prescription for rest, trying to process what just happened. Dr. Nathaniel Hunt just decided to drive me home, and I'm apparently letting him. Chapter 1. The argument. 5 minutes turns into 10. I've changed back into my work clothes. Pencil skirt, blouse, heels that were a bad idea this morning, and an even worse idea now. I'm standing at the ER entrance, phone in hand, staring at 17 unread emails. I should be reading them. I don't. A black sedan pulls up. Dr. Hunt leans over, pushes the passenger door open. Get in. This is really unnecessary. We've established that I disagree. Get in. I get in. The car is clean. Too clean. Smells like coffee and something else. Something that reminds me of hospitals, but not in a bad way. Antiseptic mixed with, I don't know, leather? He pulls away from the curb before I can overthink it. This is highly irregular, I say. Probably. Don't you have other patients? I handed them off to Dr. She's covering the rest of my shift. You canceled your shift? I did. For me? He glances over. You sound surprised. I am surprised. You don't even know me. I know enough. He turns onto the main road. I know you're a corporate lawyer who works 90-hour weeks. I know you haven't had a proper meal in days based on your glucose levels. I know you drove yourself into the ground and still tried to convince me you were fine. It's exactly that. His voice is calm, and I recognize it because I do the same thing. That stops me. What? 80-hour weeks, sometimes more. I sleep at the hospital more than I sleep at home. I forget to eat. I skip meals. I run on coffee and stubbornness. He keeps his eyes on the road. So when I see someone doing the same thing, I recognize it. And I know that telling them to just rest doesn't work. So your solution is to personally drive them home? My solution is to make sure they actually rest, which means making sure they get home safely, which means this. He gestures vaguely at the car. I lean back in the seat. You're a hypocrite. Completely. He almost smiles. Doesn't make me wrong. Still a hypocrite. Noted. We drive in silence for a moment. The city passes by outside. Late night traffic. Street lights. People living their lives at a normal pace. Why cardiology? I ask. Don't know why I ask. Just need to fill the silence. My father had a heart attack when I was 16. He says it simply. Survived. But it scared me enough that I decided to do something about it. I'm sorry. Don't be. He's fine now. Runs marathons. Annoys my mother. Lives to give me unsolicited medical advice. A pause. What about you? Why corporate law? My mother wanted me to be a doctor. I wanted to disappoint her in the most expensive way possible. He laughs. Actually laughs. Law school as rebellion. That's a new one. It worked. She still brings it up at family dinners. Does she know you're working yourself into an early grave doing it? The question hits harder than it should. Probably. She also brings that up. Smart woman. Annoying woman, I correct. But yes. He glances at the GPS. You live alone? How is that relevant? It's relevant because if you live alone, there's no one to make sure you actually rest. No one to stop you from checking email. No one to enforce the 72 hours. I'm an adult. I can enforce it myself. Can you? No. Yes. Liar. He takes a turn. What floor? 6th, but you really don't need to. We've been over this. The parking garage is quiet. He pulls into a visitor spot, turns off the engine. We sit there for a moment. Thank you, I say. For the ride. You didn't have to. I know. He looks at me, really looks at me. But I wanted to. There's something in the way he says it, something that makes my heart, my damaged, overworked, stressed out heart, do that thing again, the fluttering thing, the thing that's probably concerning from a medical standpoint. Come on, he says, opening his door. Let's get you upstairs. Chapter 2. The apartment. I don't invite him up. He just comes, follows me to the elevator, stands next to me in silence as we ride to the 6th floor, walks down the hall behind me while I fumble for my keys. You really don't have to, I start. I know. I'm perfectly capable of. I know that too. The door opens. I step inside. He follows, and then stops. Just stops in the entryway, looking. My apartment is fine. It's fine, clean, minimalist. Exactly what you'd expect from someone who's never home. Hardwood floors, gray couch, glass coffee table with nothing on it except a legal pad and 3 pens. Kitchen visible from the living room, white counters, stainless steel appliances, everything in its place. It's fine, but the way he's looking at it makes me see it differently, makes me see how empty it is, how there's no art on the walls, no photos, no plants, no evidence that anyone actually lives here instead of just sleeping here occasionally. When's the last time you were home? He asks. I'm home every night. That's not what I asked. I set my bag down. What do you want me to say? That I work too much? You already know that. You literally just diagnosed me with it. I want you to be honest. He moves into the kitchen, opens the fridge. I should stop him, should tell him that's invasive, but I don't. When's the last time you cooked? I don't cook. When's the last time you ate something that wasn't delivered or grabbed between meetings? I don't answer. He closes the fridge. There's a bottle of wine, 3 takeout containers that I'm not going to open, and what might be yogurt from 2 months ago. I've been busy. You've been killing yourself. He turns to face me. And I don't say that lightly. I see people in the ER every week who've pushed too hard, who thought they were fine, who thought one more late night, one more deadline, one more. He stops. You can't keep doing this. I don't have a choice. Everyone has a choice. Easy for you to say. You're not. I stop, because he is. He literally told me he does the same thing. Never mind. No, say it. He leans against the counter. I'm not what? You're not responsible for a multi-million-dollar merger that affects hundreds of jobs. You're not the only woman in a room full of men who are waiting for you to fail. You're not. I cut myself off again. I can't just stop. I'm not asking you to stop. I'm asking you to rest for 72 hours so your heart doesn't stop. The bluntness of it hits me, makes me actually hear what he's saying. Okay, I say quietly. Okay. He studies me for a moment, then pulls out his phone. What do you like to eat? What? Food. What do you like? Because you're going to eat something before I leave, and your fridge isn't offering many options. You don't have to. We've established that I'm doing it anyway. So, food preferences. I should argue. Should tell him this is above and beyond. Should remind him that he's my doctor and this is whatever this is. But I'm tired. So tired. And the idea of someone else making a decision, even a small one like what to eat, sounds impossibly appealing. Greek food, I say. There's a place 2 blocks over. They're probably still open. He's already pulling up the menu. What do you want? Surprise me, he orders, sits down at my kitchen counter, makes himself not quite at home but comfortable, like he's done this before. Like sitting in strange kitchens at midnight ordering food for patients is just part of his routine. Maybe it is. What do I know? This is weird, right? I say. This whole situation is weird. Completely. But you're still here. I am. Why? He looks at me. Really looks at me. Honestly? I don't know. I saw you walk into the ER and something just. He shakes his head. I don't usually do this. Do what? Care this much. He says it simply. I care about my patients. Of course I do. But I don't usually cancel my shift. Don't usually personally drive people home. Don't usually sit in their kitchen at midnight waiting for Greek food to arrive. My heart does that thing again. The fluttering thing. So why me? I don't know yet. He holds my gaze. But I'm here, and I'm not leaving until I know you're going to be okay. The food arrives 20 minutes later. He pays before I can, spreads containers across my counter, hands me a fork. Eat, he says. I eat. It's good, really good. I can't remember the last time I had an actual meal that wasn't consumed standing up or between phone calls. We eat in silence for a while, comfortable silence, the kind that shouldn't exist between 2 people who just met but somehow does. Can I ask you something? I say. Sure. Do you always get this involved with your patients? No. He sets his fork down. Never, actually. This is. He pauses. Seems to be choosing words carefully. This is new for me. Why? I told you. I don't know yet. He looks at me. But I'm trying to figure it out. There's something in his voice. Something that makes the air in the room feel different. Heavier. More charged. You should probably go, I say. Don't mean it. Probably. He doesn't move. Do you want me to go? No. I don't know. That's not a yes. It's not a no either. No, he agrees. It's not. We sit there, in my empty kitchen, with takeout containers between us, and I realize this is the most alive I've felt in weeks, maybe months, and it's because of a man I met 3 hours ago who saw through my bullshit in approximately 30 seconds. I should rest, I say finally. Doctor's orders. You should. He stands, starts cleaning up. But first you're going to finish eating, and drink water, and promise me you're not going to check your email the second I leave. I can't promise that. Try. I watch him move around my kitchen, throwing away containers, loading the dishwasher, making himself useful in a space that's barely mine because I'm never here long enough for it to feel like home. Nathaniel, I say, using his first name for the first time. He stops, turns. Yeah? Thank you, really, for all of this. You're welcome. He grabs his keys, heads for the door, stops with his hand on the handle. Cass? Yeah? Take care of yourself, please. Because if you don't, I'm going to show up here tomorrow and make sure you do. It should sound like a threat. It doesn't. It sounds like a promise. Okay, I say. He leaves. I stand in my empty apartment, full of Greek food and the lingering presence of a man who cared enough to cancel his whole day, who saw me at my worst and decided to stay anyway. My phone buzzes. Email notification. I look at it. Then I turn the phone off. Doctor's orders.
Okay, hold on. He didn't just give her a ride. He went upstairs. He checked her fridge, saw that the only resident was a yogurt past its prime, and decided right then and there that he was going to be the foreman of her life that night. And Cassia? The woman who eats lawyers for breakfast? She actually turned her phone off, with 17 emails screaming on the screen. She didn't turn it off because he's a doctor. She turned it off because he looked at her like she was the only thing in the world worth saving. And let's be real, when a man like that walks into your kitchen and tells you to eat, you don't argue, you just thank the heavens and open your mouth.
Chapter 3. The Return. 3 days. I make it 3 whole days, 72 hours of forced rest, of sleeping past 6 a.m. for the first time in years, of not checking email, of letting calls go to voicemail, of actually sitting on my couch and doing nothing. It's awful. And also, kind of amazing. My chest doesn't hurt anymore. My heart rate feels normal. I can breathe without that tight feeling. Turns out Dr. Hunt knew what he was talking about. I'm thinking about this, about how he was right and I was wrong, when someone knocks on my door. It's Saturday, 2 p.m. I'm in yoga pants and an old law school t-shirt. Haven't brushed my hair, wasn't expecting anyone. I check the peephole. It's him. I open the door. Dr. Hunt. Nathaniel, he corrects. I'm not on the clock. He's holding a paper bag, not in scrubs. Jeans, dark Henley. Looks different. Still unfairly attractive, but more accessible. Can I come in? I step aside. He enters, sets the bag on the counter. What are you doing here? I ask. Follow up, making sure you actually rested. He's looking at me, really looking. You look better. I feel better. Good. He pulls things from the bag, actual groceries. I brought supplies, since your fridge was a crime scene last time I checked. You didn't have to do that. I know. He starts putting things away, fresh vegetables, fruit, bread. But I was thinking about you, about whether you were actually following orders or just pretending until I left. I followed orders. I lean against the counter. 3 days. No work, no email. I slept. I rested. I did everything you said. How'd it feel? Terrible. I smile. And then not terrible. By day 2, I stopped wanting to throw my phone out the window. By day 3, I actually felt human again. That's how it's supposed to feel. He closes the fridge. Being human. It's overrated, says the woman who just admitted she feels better. Fair point. He moves to the living room, sits on my couch like he belongs there. I follow, sit on the opposite end. Not close, but not far either. Can I ask you something? I say. Always. Why are you really here? And don't say follow up. You could have called, could have had your office call, could have done this a dozen different ways that don't involve showing up at my apartment on a Saturday with groceries. He's quiet for a moment. You want the professional answer or the honest one? Honest. I haven't stopped thinking about you. He says it simply. Since that night, since I drove you home and saw how empty your apartment was and realized you were just like me, I've been thinking about you. My breath catches. Nathaniel. I know it's inappropriate. I know I was your doctor. I know there are about 15 reasons this is a terrible idea. He turns to face me. But I'm here anyway, because I needed to see you. Needed to know you were okay. Needed to... He stops. I don't usually do this. Do what? Feel this way about someone I barely know. The air between us feels different, charged, like before, but more so because now there's no medical emergency, no professional excuse, just two people sitting on a couch admitting things they probably shouldn't. I barely know you either, I say quietly, but I've been thinking about you too. Something in his expression shifts, softens. Yeah? Yeah. I pull my knees up to my chest. I kept waiting for you to call, to check in, and then feeling stupid for waiting because why would you? You did your job. You made sure I got home safe. That should be the end of it. But it's not. No. I meet his eyes. It's not. He moves closer, not touching, just closer. Tell me to leave. Tell me this is a bad idea. Tell me you don't feel whatever this is. I can't. Why not? Because I do feel it, whatever this is, and I don't want you to leave. His hand comes up, cups my face, thumb brushing my cheek. Cass, I'm not your patient anymore. No, you're not. His eyes drop to my mouth. But this is still complicated? Very. Do you care? I should. His forehead touches mine. But I don't. The distance between us disappears. His mouth finds mine and it's everything. Not gentle, not tentative, like he's been holding back for 3 days and can't anymore. Like I've been holding back my entire life and finally stopped. His hand in my hair, mine fisting in his shirt, my back against the couch cushions, him over me, around me, everywhere. When we finally break apart, because breathing is still unfortunately necessary, his forehead rests against mine. I should go, he says, voice rough. You should. I don't let go of his shirt. This is moving fast. It is. We barely know each other. We don't. I pull him back down. Kiss me again anyway. So he does. And somewhere between the second kiss and the third, between his hands on my waist and mine in his hair, I stop thinking about all the reasons this is complicated. Stop thinking about professional boundaries and how we just met. Stop thinking entirely. Just feel. When he pulls back this time, we're both breathing hard. Stay, I say. Not a question. A request. Cass, I know it's fast. I know we should probably slow down. I know all the logical reasons to pump the brakes. I meet his eyes. Stay anyway. He searches my face, looking for doubt, for hesitation. Are you sure? I haven't been sure about anything in years. I cup his face. But I'm sure about this. That's all it takes. He kisses me again, slower this time, deeper, like he's memorizing the taste of me. His hands slide under my shirt. My breath catches. Bedroom? He asks against my mouth. Down the hall. He lifts me. I wrap my legs around his waist. We make it approximately 3 steps before he presses me against the wall instead. His mouth on my neck, my head falling back. Nathaniel. We'll get there, he promises. Eventually. Eventually turns out to be 20 minutes later. After the wall. After we finally make it down the hall. After clothes become obstacles that need removing. After his hands map every inch of my skin like he's trying to memorize it. After everything becomes exactly what it should be. Later, how much later, I've lost track. We're tangled in my sheets. His arm around me, my head on his chest. The city getting dark outside. I should probably feel guilty about this, he says quietly. Do you? Not even a little. His hand runs through my hair. Should I? I don't know. What are the rules? You weren't technically my patient, just a consult. One night. And now it's been 72 hours. He presses a kiss to my forehead. So technically, we're fine. Technically. Technically. I tilt my head to look at him. And non-technically, I broke about 15 personal rules. Crossed lines I never cross. Did things I've never done with anyone I've treated. He meets my eyes. And I do it again. My heart does that thing. The good fluttering thing this time. Me too. We lie there in comfortable silence, his fingers tracing patterns on my shoulder, mine running over his chest. I have to work tomorrow, he says finally. I know. But I don't want to leave. Then don't. Not yet. So he doesn't. He stays through dinner, pizza we order because neither of us wants to move, stays through a movie we barely watch, stays until his phone buzzes with an early alarm reminder. I should go, he says, standing, finding his clothes. I know. He kisses me, long, slow. I'll call you. Okay? I mean it. This isn't... He gestures between us. This isn't just tonight. I know. Good. One more kiss. Take care of yourself. Actually take care of yourself. I will. He leaves. I sit in my apartment, my suddenly less empty apartment, and smile. Because Dr. Nathaniel Hunt just spent the afternoon and evening with me, and promised to call, and looked at me like I was something worth canceling plans for. And for the first time in years, I feel like maybe I am. Chapter 4. The Call. He calls the next morning. I'm half awake, reaching for my phone out of habit, expecting work emails. Instead, it's his name on the screen. Hello? My voice is rough, sleep-heavy. Did I wake you? He sounds apologetic, also like he's been awake for hours. Kind of. What time is it? 7. I'm sorry. I'm between rounds and I just... He pauses. I wanted to hear your voice. That wakes me up. Fully. Yeah? Yeah. I can hear the smile in his voice. How are you feeling? Good. Rested. Like a functional human being. That's what I like to hear. Background noise. Hospital sounds. Pages. Voices. Listen, I know this is short notice, but I have tonight off. Miracle of miracles. And I was thinking... Yes. He laughs. You don't know what I was going to ask. Doesn't matter. The answer is yes. Dinner? Actual dinner. At a restaurant. Like a real date. My heart does that thing. A real date. If you want, if this is... He stops. I don't actually know what this is yet, but I want to find out. Me too. I sit up. What time? 7:30? I'll pick you up. You don't have to, Cass. Right. You're doing it anyway. Exactly. We talk for another 10 minutes. About nothing. About everything. About his morning rounds and my plan to actually take a day off. About how strange it feels to not be working ourselves into the ground. About how we should probably figure out what we're doing, but neither of us wants to overthink it. When we hang up, I'm smiling, actually smiling, on a Sunday morning, in my apartment, because a man I barely know wants to take me to dinner. This is new. 7:30 comes faster than expected. I've changed 3 times, settled on a dress that's nice but not trying too hard. Heels, hair down, minimal makeup because I don't actually remember how to do more than minimal. The knock comes exactly on time. I open the door. He's in slacks and a button-down. No tie. Sleeves rolled to his elbows. Looks unfairly good for someone who probably worked a 12-hour shift. Hi, he says. Hi. He just looks at me for a moment. You look beautiful. You look exhausted. Honest as always. He grins. I like that about you. We go to an Italian place in the West Village. Small, intimate. The kind of restaurant that feels like a secret. We sit in a corner booth, order wine, make small talk that gradually becomes real talk. Can I ask you something? I say, halfway through my pasta. Always. What made you become a cardiologist? Really. Not the story about your dad, which I'm sure is true, but what made you choose this specific kind of exhausting? He sets his fork down, considers. I like fixing things. Definable problems with definable solutions. Heart's not working right? We figure out why. We fix it, we monitor, we adjust. It's concrete. And the hours are terrible, I know. He reaches for his wine. But when you save someone, when you see them walk out of the hospital when 2 days ago they were dying, it's worth it. Is it? I ask quietly. Worth burning yourself out? You tell me, is being a lawyer worth it? Worth the 90-hour weeks? Worth the stress that nearly gave you a heart attack? Touché. I don't know anymore. I used to think it was. Used to think making partner was the only thing that mattered. But lately, I trail off. But lately? Lately, I'm wondering what I'm working toward. What happens when I make partner and I'm still miserable, still alone, still living in an empty apartment with an empty fridge? His hand finds mine across the table. You're not alone anymore. The words hit differently, heavier. Nathaniel. I know it's fast. I know we're still figuring this out. But I meant what I said yesterday. This isn't just... He gestures vaguely. This isn't casual for me. It's not casual for me either. I turn my hand over, lace our fingers together. But I don't know how to do this. The relationship thing, the healthy balance thing. I'm good at work. I'm terrible at everything else. So am I. He squeezes my hand. So we'll figure it out together. We'll both probably work too much. We'll both probably forget to eat. But maybe... A slight smile. Maybe we can remind each other. Take care of each other. Is that what this is? Taking care of each other? Among other things. His thumb brushes my wrist. But yeah, that's part of it. The waiter brings dessert. We share tiramisu. Talk about everything except work. About books and movies and places we've traveled. About families and friends and the lives we've built that somehow feel incomplete despite all the success. When he drives me home, he walks me to my door. I'd invite you up, I say, but I have to be in the office early tomorrow. First day back. You're going back already? I have to eventually. I know. Just... He cups my face. Take it easy, please. Don't undo 3 days of rest in one morning. I'll try, Not good enough. Promise me. I promise to try to take it easy. I smile. That's the best you're getting. I'll take it. He kisses me. Slow. Deep. The kind of kiss that makes me reconsider the early morning. Can I see you this week? Yes. Good. Another kiss. Text me when you get home safe tomorrow. Let me know you survived the first day back. You're very bossy for someone who's not my doctor anymore. I prefer concerned. Bossy. Concerned and bossy. He grins. Get some sleep, Cass. I watch him leave. Go inside. Stand in my apartment that feels different now. Less empty. More like somewhere I might actually want to be. My phone buzzes. Text from him. Already miss you. Is that pathetic? I text back. Only if it's pathetic that I miss you too. His response is immediate. Then we're both pathetic. I can live with that. I fall asleep smiling. For the third night in a row. This is definitely becoming a pattern. Tucker Chapter 5. The Balance. 3 weeks later, I'm learning that dating a cardiologist is complicated. Not bad, just complicated. He works nights, I work days. Sometimes our schedules align and we get dinner. Sometimes they don't, and we go 4 days communicating through texts sent at odd hours. Sometimes he shows up at my apartment at 11 p.m. smelling like hospital and exhaustion, and I make him eat something before he collapses on my couch. Sometimes I work through the weekend and he brings me coffee and forces me to take breaks. It's not perfect, but it's real. Right now, it's Thursday night. We have plans. Actual plans that we made 3 days ago. Dinner at 8, the new French place he's been wanting to try. It's 7:45 and I'm still at the office. My phone rings. His name on the screen. I know, I say immediately. I'm leaving right now. I just need to finish. I'm not calling about dinner. His voice is tight, professional. I'm calling because I'm looking at your patient chart from 3 weeks ago and noticed something I should have caught sooner. My stomach drops. What? Your labs. There was a marker I missed. Nothing immediately dangerous, but something that needs follow-up. I need you to come in tomorrow. First thing. We need to run more tests. Nathaniel? This is me as your doctor, Cass. Not... He pauses. Just come in. Please. 8 a.m. I'll make sure you're my first appointment. Okay, I'll be there. Silence. Then, I'm sorry about dinner. It's fine. This is more important. I'll make it up to you. You don't have to. I know. I want to. A pause. I have to go. I'll see you tomorrow. He hangs up. I sit there in my office, looking at my computer screen, at the work that suddenly seems less important, at the life I've built that nearly killed me, and I make a decision. The next morning, I'm at the hospital at 7:45, 15 minutes early. Nathaniel meets me in the cardiology wing. Professional, doctor mode. But his eyes soften when he sees me. Hey, he says. Hey. He takes me to an exam room, runs tests, asks questions, is thorough and careful and everything a good doctor should be. But I can see the worry underneath, the concern that goes beyond professional. How bad is it? I ask when he's done. It's not bad. Not yet. But your stress markers are elevated again. Not as bad as before, but heading in that direction. He sits down across from me. Have you been taking care of yourself? I've been trying. That's not the same as actually doing it. I know. He's quiet for a moment. I'm worried about you. I know that too. Cass, he stops, seems to be choosing words carefully. I can't be both. I can't be your doctor and your whatever we are. It's not fair to either of us. But I need to know you're taking this seriously, that you're not going to end up back in the ER. I am taking it seriously. Are you? He leans forward. Because from where I'm sitting, It looks like you're falling back into old patterns, working too much, skipping meals, pushing yourself too hard. He's right. I know he's right. What do you want me to do? I want you to prioritize yourself, your health, your life outside of work. He takes my hand. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for me, because I can't watch you destroy yourself. I care about you too much. The words hit hard, make something crack open in my chest. I'm scared, I admit quietly, of slowing down, of not being the best, of losing everything I've worked for. You're not going to lose anything except maybe the stress and the chest pain and the constant exhaustion. He squeezes my hand. But you might gain something better. Like what? Like a life, like time, like the ability to actually enjoy the success you've built instead of just surviving it. I look at him. At this man who showed up in my life 3 weeks ago and decided I was worth saving, worth caring about, worth showing up for. I quit, I say. He blinks. What? My job. I'm quitting. Today. The decision solidifies as I say it. I've been thinking about it since that first night. Since you drove me home and I realized how empty my life was. I gesture at the exam room. This. A reminder that I'm killing myself for something that doesn't actually matter as much as I thought it did. Cass, I'm not quitting law. I'm quitting this job, this firm, this version of my life that almost gave me a heart attack at 32. I stand up. I'm going to find something better, something that doesn't require 90-hour weeks, something that lets me have a life. Have you? He stands too. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He kisses me, right there in the exam room. Professional boundaries completely forgotten. When we break apart, he's smiling. What? I ask. I'm proud of you. For having a minor breakdown in your exam room. For choosing yourself. He cups my face. That's the hardest thing to do. And you just did it. I had help. I lean into his touch. You showed me what it looks like. To actually care about someone. To show up for them. To prioritize something other than work. We're both still learning. Then we'll learn together. 2 weeks later, I've handed in my notice. I have 3 job offers from smaller firms that actually respect work-life balance. Nathaniel and I have had 5 actual dates. Dinners where we both show up on time. Movies where we actually watch the movie. Mornings where we wake up together without either of us rushing off to work. It's not perfect. He still works too much. I still stress about things I shouldn't. But we're trying. We're both trying. Right now we're in my apartment. Our apartment, kind of, since he's been staying over more nights than not. I'm cooking. Actually cooking. He's sitting at the counter watching me like I'm performing surgery. You know I can help, he says. You can, but you won't. I point the wooden spoon at him. You're going to sit there and relax because you just worked a 14-hour shift. Bossy. Concerned. I smile. And bossy. He laughs, comes around the counter, wraps his arms around me from behind, rests his chin on my shoulder. I love this, he says quietly. Cooking? This. Us. Having time. Not rushing. Actually being present. I lean back against him. Me too. Think we can keep doing it? The balance thing? I don't know, but I want to try. Me too. We stand there, in my kitchen, in our life, in this thing we're building that's messy and imperfect and exactly right. Nathaniel? Yeah? Thank you for showing up that night, for driving me home, for not letting me destroy myself. Thank you for letting me. He kisses my temple, for trusting me, for choosing this. for choosing us. Always. And I mean it, because this, whatever this is worth choosing, worth fighting for, worth building a life around, even if that life is still complicated, even if we're both still learning, even if we have no idea what comes next. We'll figure it out, together.
She quit. Hallelujah! Cassia finally realized that killing yourself for a career isn't success. And our favorite cardiologist, he's learning that you can't save anyone's heart if you don't have someone to take care of yours. Are they still two control freaks? Yes. Will they have relapses and work 90-hour weeks again? Probably. But now they have each other to pull the emergency brake. What about you? Have you ever nearly had a heart attack over a jerk boss? Or have you ever had a hot doctor like this ordering you to rest? Tell me in the comments, because I feel like we have a lot to gossip about regarding this VIP treatment. Subscribe to Gia's Diary, because my stash of forbidden recipes is just getting started. See you in the next entry. TR.